Me, Milton, and I am creating this presentation for parents to know about the course scheduling process that is starting for 7th graders who are moving to 8th grade next year at Centerville Middle School. There's some changes that are taking place. First off, there's a new bell schedule. Students will have a choice of music. The third change would be a double block of ELA or ELA in a foreign language. And then finally, I'll talk about the new recommendation process. First off, the new bell schedule. There's a lot of things staying the same. For example, Flex is still at the end of the day. Band, chorus, and orchestra will still be offered during Flex, although it's only one time per cycle, and it's a 6-day cycle. Some of the changes that you're going to see for next year is the student day runs from 7:28 a.m. until 2:40 p.m. There's 7 periods instead of 6, and they're 46 minutes apiece. Homerooms will take place in the first period class, so there's no transition time between those two periods. There's 4 lunches that are organized by team, and there's going to be 2 exploratory periods per day. So first off, the new music options. Students will have a chance to choose between 4 different options for their regular music class. The one that probably the vast majority of students are going to choose is Music 8. That's a non-performance oriented class. It's the typical Music 8 that students would have taken this year. For students especially who take chorus, orchestra, or band, there are 3 other alternatives that are all performance-based classes for their regular music class. So that would be Vocal Techniques 8, String Techniques 8, and Brass, Woodwind, Percussion Techniques 8. Once again, these are all performance-based and most likely only for students who want to participate in chorus, band, or orchestra, but it's not exclusive to those students. For students who are in the String Techniques 8 or Brass, Woodwind, or Percussion 8, there is the option of extending that music class for 1 extra quarter every other day. It just means that they'll pair their PE class for 3/4 of a year. So if that's something that interests them for a little bit of extra support, that is possible. Band, chorus, and orchestra are still offered during Flex. I'm going to be going into classrooms on Monday, the 20th of March until Wednesday, the 21st of March. And I'll be presenting this information. This is the slide that I will show students so that they can choose that music class. They're going to do that together with me in class. And the important thing from your end as parents is that you're going to receive a verification sheet from your son or daughter in early April that you'll need to look over, make any changes that you feel are appropriate, and then sign and send back to us. Another change that's taking place next year is ELA and course recommendations. So the English and Language Arts options for 8th graders is either a double period of ELA or 1 period of ELA and a foreign language. And all of these placements this year are determined by the student's performance on these 4 different tests. So the grade tests, grades, PSSAs, and state scores for PVAS. And PVAS is just a state estimate of how much growth a student will have over the following school year. Students must score within the targeted benchmark on all 4 categories or 3 out of the 4 categories with a teacher's recommendation. And what I'll be stressing with the student is the main takeaway is their performance on grade tests, PSSAs, and their grades all matter. So it's important to do their best. Similar criteria are also going to apply to the placement for American history or science and math. All the different courses at Centerville will have these different criteria of how they will be placed. Students who qualify for the foreign language that they meet those benchmarks, they will be able to choose their foreign language. I'll have them choose 2 different choices, their first choice and their second choice, just in case their first choice isn't available. And there's going to be a brief assembly this coming week for students to do that. We're going to give them a short lag time. They'll have a couple days. We're going to tell them to go back, talk to their parents if they qualify, to discuss which language they'd like to choose, and then they'll come back on Thursday and to choose that language. One thing that's really important to note is that this is a student's last opportunity to take a reading class before high school. So we really want to make sure that they have a strong foundation in reading before they move on. And an eighth grade foreign language does not appear on a high school transcript. So if a student takes Spanish 1, German 1, or French 1 next year in eighth grade, that actually doesn't count at the high school. It's not on the transcript. So that's an important thing to note. Some key deadlines, like I said, the classroom lessons are going to be this coming Monday, March 20th through the 23rd. Those verification sheets should be distributed in homeroom on Monday, April 3rd, but sometime during early April. And then the signed verification sheets from you should be turned back into guidance by Thursday, April 13th. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, give me a call. I'm glad to be of service to you. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.